currently in Charleston, South Carolina. We traveled here for some family reasons. We had some things to take care of up in the upstate towards Greenville, Charlotte area. And then now we are down in Southern Carolina, down in Charleston, and we are now going to be doing some business-oriented things. I'm going to be here looking at some real estate, some commercial and residential properties. And yeah, just gonna enjoy the beautiful low country of South Carolina. So because one, I am building an online business, but I am also doing commercial real estate full-time in my day-to-day work life. So yeah, I'll kind of take you guys through what that part of my work life looks like. We have done a terrible job of documenting this week. Honestly, it's been kind of hectic. Like I said, the first part of this week, we were really spending time with family, handling some family stuff that we had in the upstate, and right now we're down south in Charleston, South Carolina, where we spent most of our time looking at properties and looking at, some commercial stuff and some personal stuff. And because one, I'm thinking about moving out here myself because I love this city. If you haven't been down to Charleston, South Carolina, it's an amazing place to be. It's beautiful, has a great culture to it. One thing I definitely wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about was the importance of having the right type of people around you and having that community around you. And currently at the moment, I'm in Arizona. I'm kind of isolated, at least from my friends, my tribe, my people. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a group of like-minded guys or girls or whoever that have that kind of, they're in the same space of life. Because in Arizona, I have a lot of really good mentors and I have a lot of great influences from people that are older than me. But again, it's not the same as when you have, 5 guys who are all in their 20s, who are all hustling, trying to get the same kind of thing done that you are. The importance of you finding that is life or death, essentially. All right, we are currently back in Arizona, back in Scottsdale, and things have been crazy hectic with traveling and with trying to get back on some sort of schedule and everything like that. So didn't really do a great job of documenting the process of me traveling and everything like that, but we definitely got work done where we needed to get it done, and we spent a lot of time looking at properties and stuff like that while we were over there, which was great. But one thing I wanted to touch on before I end this video is that a lot of guys on social media and on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is, they sensationalize this idea of old money and, or just having a lot of stuff, essentially, like having a lot of materialistic things. And it makes sense. Like when you don't have a lot, like you want a lot. When you get all of it, you realize you didn't need any of it. And that brings me to a point of buy things because you truly want them rather than you want people to know you have it. And so for me, a great example of this is like 3 things that I know that I really want in my life. Actually, we'll break it down to one thing. One thing that I know for a fact that I really, really want is specifically a 964 Porsche 911 stick. It has to be a stick shift. Under no circumstance can be anything else. And it's not because that I want, a Lambo or a Ferrari or whatever so I can flex on people, because to me, driving one of those cars is not that special. Like the car sounds beautiful, don't get me wrong. But to me, it's like I want a sports car because I love cars. Like I grew up watching Top Gear. I grew up, really, really enjoying the process of seeing people drive cars and driving stick. And so when I learned how to drive stick, I learned how to drive stick on a Porsche, which is one of the coolest experiences I could have had. Shout out to my boy Riley for helping me out and his dad letting us take his Porsche out. but I fell in love with the process, the tactile experience that was driving a stick shift. You know what I mean? And really, and hearing the engine and being connected to the car and feeling the road and that kind of thing, which you just don't get in like a lot of modern supercars, because everything is so, you know, there's so much electronics in the car with dealing with ABS and traction control and all these different things. So to me, I want a 90s supercar that's a stick. And that's something that I know that I want and that I would enjoy every day of having it. You know what I mean? And so, whereas a lot of people, they want a Patek, they want an AP just so they can show people that they have it on their wrist, or they want like I said, the Ferrari or whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, if there's not a special meaning, if there isn't a special connection behind that car, behind that watch, behind that house, whatever it is, then it's not going to matter to you. Before going on the endeavor of like pursuing financial abundance and financial wealth, really map out what things are actually important to you. Like, have a solid list of things that, like, I know that this is what I want for a very meaningful reason. Don't just go pursuing wealth and pursuing materialism and hedonism, essentially, just for the sake of doing so, because it'll probably leave you in a lot worse position than you are now. And I forget who says this. I heard it on a podcast, but a guy said that when you're sad and broke, you think it's because you don't have any money. But then when you're rich and sad, you realize it's because, or when you're rich and sad is the most depressing, because you know there's nothing left to help you, essentially. There's nothing more depressing than being wealthy and sad, because there's literally nothing else you could probably add to your life to make it better, because money can't buy anything. It can't buy anything that'll be meaningful to you. Any of the meaningful experiences, any of the meaningful relationships, it can't do any of that. So be intentional about everything. Be intentional about who you talk to, about who you meet, what you want to buy, what you want to create with your life. Be super intentional. This brings me to another point, that if you're a guy in your 20s like myself, be unbelievably intentional with where you're going to live, with who you're going to be around, like your friends and stuff, and who you're going to date. These are 3 things that will drastically change the trajectory of your life if you're not careful. And I've had plenty of mentors and older friends of mine tell me, like, yo, those 3 things, like where you live is going to be a huge factor in just like your level of success that you can attain. Who you date is going to change where you're going to live, or what jobs you'll take, or, you know, what financial decisions you're going to make, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. And then obviously, like, who your friends are. Like, everybody knows, like, your closest friends, you're an average of your 5 closest friends or whatever. So that one kind of goes without saying. Don't just be so quick to jump into a relationship, bro. It will change your life, for better or for worse. It will change your life. And maybe it might not make your life worse, but it might augment your ability to take on certain decisions later. Because when you kind of think about it, life is like, you're at a point right here, right? And then there's an infinite amount of branches of decisions that you can make going off from that point. The moment you make one decision, you eliminate every other possibility. And now from there, a bunch of possibilities kind of come up out of that one. And as you get older, all those possibilities start to dwindle down to where you only have one life path really left. I would just say be super intentional about those 3 decisions in your 20s, and you'll probably be able to save yourself a lot of heartache. I think that's gonna be it for this video, man. I hope that you guys got a little bit of value out of this. I know it was a little bit sporadic, but follow me on Instagram, subscribe, like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.